and coffee.
Well, if no one's gonna drink this, maybe I'll just... Ugh, that's terrible. That's...
We seem to have lost Gerry.
Yep, seems like he has connection issues.
Sure.
Are you there, Gerry?
Somebody say,
Oh,
You are
I was
breaking
muted.
up.
Good morning, everybody.
Happy
morning,
Easter
Steve.
Monday
Oh, yeah.
to those who do Easter. I mean,
Well, how are you, John? How are you,
I'm
Anima?
doing great.
I feel so happy about that. Bill is doing great. His health
No.
is better for the ones who are following his progress. He's
He's only
I'm
coughing
almost
up
gone.
half a lung.
yeah.
yeah. Anima, what do you have to tell us today? Oh, and here's the guy himself.
but I can still say with half a lung, I'm doing a show. So hopefully Gerry will be on shortly. Anima, did you mention that he had some kind of connectivity issue or something?
It seems like it, yeah.
So what is
Oh,
the go ahead.
private chat. He's sending Martin the file and it's affecting his connection.
Yeah.
So once that is through, he should be here.
So how was everybody's weekend?
That was good.
It was a
John,
weekend.
I mean, for us, I don't know how it is over there where you are, Anima, but Easter, it was quiet here. People had their family, their friends. I barbecued. I had a barbecue outside. I said, I'm not going to make the same old thing that everybody makes every time it's Easter, the ham or the roast. I said, I'm not barbecue. It's nice out. So that's exactly what I did. And Martin knows I go out there with the smoker and I do my thing out there. Right, Martin? You've seen it.
Yeah, yes, you do.
That sounds nice.
Oh, yeah. Well, you guys, anytime, you're always welcome to come on over if you're in the area. Come on over.
Well, I went to my sister's and she made a dinner specifically that I could eat. So
I hear you. Well, what was it? What was it?
Well, she made a charcuterie board because I'm on the deli. Sliced meats is one of the things I can have, and of course, I have cheese. But I had like baked beans and green beans and soft vegetables, stuff like that. So,
is this a temporary thing about certain foods, or is this like
yeah?
Okay.
In fact, Wednesday I can actually have ground beef, so I'm going to get a burger. No bun though, just the burger and cheese and probably a little bit of ketchup and onion and tomato.
The bun is the shit part of the burger anyway. That's just the empty calories.
You may want, just for kicks and giggles, but you can wrap the meat in lettuce. It's very tasty.
Yeah.
Gerry told me he does that sometimes.
Yeah, like a wrap with the lettuce. Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of Gerry, hopefully he'll be here soon. But I don't recall this movie ever seeing this movie. Tears in the Sun. Have you guys seen this movie?
Yeah,
I watched
it
it
came out
yesterday.
2003.
Who stars in this movie? Who's in
Bruce
this?
Willis.
Monica Bellucci.
Yep.
And it's set in where? I mean, I'm trying to.
Nigeria.
Okay, I'm not. I
Yeah.
don't know if I've ever seen this film.
It's about the conflict between the Fulani Muslims and the Christian Igbo.
Yeah.
They hate each other, and the Muslims have the president and his family killed. I mean, that is what we learn at the beginning of the movie. That is what starts this whole mission. And it's based on a true story, but that happened in Southern America.
Okay.
And Gerry says is based on actual incidents with Canadian Special Forces.
In
That took
Colombia,
place in
yes.
Colombia.
And other than in this story, nobody got killed. Some of the SEALs got injured, but none got killed. And of course, because it's Hollywood, they killed off a couple of them in this movie.
Yeah.
Don't even go there with the Hollywood. It drives me nuts.
Yeah,
I'll give you an example. And this is a true story. While Gary's sorting out his issues with the connection, but 9/11. My friend that lived across the street from me, his name was Dominic. We call him Mimo. And he was in the Port Authority Police. And he went into the tower and they got people out. And then his commanding officer told him, let's go back in and try to get more. And they did it. And they got trapped in the elevator when the building came down. So, and I knew him from high school. We were friends. He lived right across the street from me. When they made that Nicolas Cage movie, 9/11, and what Hollywood did to depict his character of who he was, I can tell you, we were all outraged. I don't want to say any language, but we were not happy people. It was a disrespectful thing what Hollywood did to portraying his character, because they tried to show him like he was losing it, unstable. That man was the quietest, most controlled person I ever knew. Never raised his voice. He was so in control, and Hollywood totally took his character out of context for Hollywood means.
What an insult. That is messed up.
It is horrible. Everybody was outraged. The family. I mean, this was a big thing when that movie came out. It was horrible. But that's an example of what Hollywood does.
Well, did the family sue?
Yes, I think they did. Yes. I don't know what happened.
They should have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely should have, because how can you create a character not knowing who the person was as an individual? And the family suffers. People that know him suffer. Everybody suffers when they see something like that is part of the community. So yeah, it was definitely an outrage. But again, that's what Hollywood does.
Yeah, Hollywood needs drama. And I hate it when they do that. And I always call it out, even with stuff that's actually good, like SEAL Team or Terminal List. When they go for the artificial drama, I'm like, come on, really?
Yeah.
It's just, it's not needed.
The thing is, like you guys mentioned this, and I sit here and I watch the show and I absorb all the information that you guys are discussing during a show. But it is important to have the people that were part of, if possible, part of whatever happened, the real account, to be there. It's some kind of a role, consultation, some kind of role so that they can get the story quite right. But it doesn't even matter about that, because when it goes up to the upper chain, they're the ones who make the ultimate decision, because it happened with Travis Walton, with Torme trying to get the movie the right way. And Hollywood said, no. We want it this way. This is the way it's going to be done. And even though they fought against it, they still went with it and changed the whole part of the movie. So it happens quite often, sadly.
Yeah, in the end, money wins.
Yep.
Yeah,
tried.
They care more about telling a story than they do about what actually happened.
Exactly. Because they don't think a real life reenactment, they see it as maybe boring. But to me, that's offensive.
I'm back, baby.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Good.
No.
People like a good reenactment of a true story on the accounts that actually occurred, not some Hollywood bullshit exaggeration that has now totally fictionalized the movie now.
Well, yeah,
You know,
and going back to Travis Walton, before what happened at the taking of him and all the events that took place outside of the event were all based on the reality. What was based on fiction that they changed was what took place with him on the ship.
Exactly.
They made it seem like it was against his will and that he was being tortured, and when in fact what was going on was they had accidentally killed him
And
when he got hit by that beam. And the reason they took him up was they killed him. They're like, oh, his name's probably Bill too. Oh shit! Oh God! I killed him! What do we do?
But the one thing, like I said earlier before you got here, Gary, and maybe you were listening.
I'm listening.
But what you guys say when they have how you talk about how to hold the gun properly, like you could see these little nuances on how they have people on the set to train the actors somewhat appropriately on how to portray the character and what they're doing in the movie, or just to have people that were part of the incident to be consultants, to be there to provide, true, accurate events depiction of what happened.
Yeah,
but that's what makes the movie really, to me, what makes it better. So I'm gonna go and I want
to Tracy Torme. With your help, we've got to get him into the 21st century so we can have him back on the show. He has the worst connectivity I've ever seen.
He lives in the middle of he moved and now he's away from all the towers.
He's out in the desert and shit.
Anyway, I'm really looking forward to hear.
Did you get to talk to Travis?
I was hanging out with Travis a few weeks ago.
Did you tell him that I met him a couple times?
No, I didn't tell him that.
Oh man, it was so cool.
I didn't see him. He's coming for Pine Bush.
We got to get him on the show.
I was going to say maybe I can get him to come on for a few minutes.
Yeah, up on our Wednesday show, just to pop on.
He's
special guest.
We'll talk about this later.
All right, buddy.
But I want to really hear about this because I've never seen this movie. Anima, John, and Martin will give me a little rundown of this movie, but I've never seen the movie, so now I guess I'm going to learn. Is there any spoilers that I need to be aware of? Are you guys going to be running through spoilers or?
Yes. Well, we're going to show the whole movie, and it's already sent to you, Martin, so you can collect it and start showing it.
Let me say it this way: is this a movie that you all recommend seeing?
I highly recommend the film. It does get really emotional because the combat in it can get really intense, and the risk once he makes that turn, and it really happened like that. He was on a helicopter and he made a decision to go back. And the real guy's name is he's French Canadian. I'm trying to remember his name. He was JTF2, Canadian Special Forces, and he wrote a book on it. And Morissette is his name, Morissette. And he made that decision to go back. And it was just plainly, they realized these people had no self-defense against what was happening to them. And he made that conscious decision, I'm going to go back. And we have to help these people. Nobody else is going to do it. And it's what we signed up for.
Yep.
And I always love stories like that where military, because you'll hear stories of this in real life all the time of like when Syria was going through that shit, American Special Forces retired were going over there to help fight against ISIS.
Yep.
Happens all the time, man.
They really should make a movie about the bullshit that happened in Afghanistan.
It's crazy, but we have a lot of guys that go into special forces that retire and end up murking out, helping people, not for the money. Yeah. And I tell people their oaths are serious. These guys know what they're doing and why they're doing it.
Well, thank you for your service and all those veterans out there
I was a dick.
and their families. Oh, because
Was?
families
Was?
too. So, guys, have a great show. I'm gonna now sit back and watch kind of because I want to see this movie now.
I just got my saw the notification. Joe is here. My good buddy Joe Zeitz. I don't know if he wants to be talking about it, but he messaged me this morning. Joe, let me know if I'm allowed to talk about it. I love Joe. Joe is a close friend of mine. We write together. Well, we normally write together, but he's got his own ranch out in California, man. That guy's crazy busy with his ranch. But I want to finish that script we started and see where it goes because a director wants it. He wants to option it. And it's called The Darker. And it is a classic 80s vampire romp with the horror with a little bit of comedy mixed in. And the comedy is not silly comedy. It's based off of the characters' reactions to shit.
Like kind of like
you have your answer, Gerry.
Oh, okay. What happened was he's been having some problems. And he's a healthy guy, man. He has one bad habit, the same bad habit I have. Caffeine. We love our caffeine, man. And Joe started having some chest things. It was really concerning him. We talked about it. And he finally went and got hooked up to a Holter monitor. And I'm assuming they did some other tests too, I'm sure. But finally the results are in on the test, and he's got supraventricular tachycardia, which is a treatable condition.
Great. Thank God. And
it can be treated through medicine. Another way it can be treated is through electrical shock to get the SA and TA nodes to fire correctly. Just basically put him back on the right rhythm. But he's going to have to be checked the rest of his life, and he got the worst news possible, that he's got to cut back, not cut out though, cut back on caffeine. I love Joe. He's a good guy. Marine, Semper Fi.
Anyway, and of course, Anima, have a great rest of your show and enjoy everyone in chat. Have a great rest of your Monday and also enjoy the show.
Thanks a lot, Bill. Thanks for dropping in. And
Right.
Thanks for carrying the show for a few minutes, guys, even though it seemed like you're confused on what was going on.
No, I gave a.
Does somebody need to talk?
No, I gave a heartfelt explanation and salutation to the chat, and then I noticed that I was muted. Okay,
other good
I'm
news
pressing
this
play.
morning. Let's see, was our good friend, who I think is here too, isn't he? Glenn Fleming? Is it Glenn here?
No, it still hasn't appeared.
Okay, Glenn messaged me this morning, and he is now officially mentioned in Comics Unlimited, and it is out on Amazon. You can check out the link. Oh, good grief. I hate Amazon's links. They are so freaking long. Let me get a tiny URL. Hold on, guys. I'll get this tiny URL
Don't
and you
worry.
can go check out the new issue.
In the meantime, I will post our fuel up link for today.
Yeah, and you can also put it on screen if you want to. But let's go ahead and hit play. No. Don't stop that shit. It's an hour and 20 minutes, man. Do not stop it at all, ever. Here is the tiny URL copy. All right, here you go, guys. You can go check out the latest issue of Comics Unlimited. Our good friend Glenn Fleming is in it. And very excited about this shit. Now, the opening video clips with the narration going on over it, news report, this is actual footage. I was almost disturbed by them doing this because they show that's a real dead body there. There's dead bodies in this, and there are, they actually show a guy being shot on the street. And I thought, wow, how did they not get in trouble for that? And, but this film is directed by Training Day director. I just forgot his name. Oh my God. Help me out, guys.
Antoine
Antoine Fuqua.
Fuqua.
Fuqua. And this is a gritty film. And like I said, it's based on the true story of Monet and his team. And he released a book that is available on Amazon, and I'll find the name for you. It was originally written in French, and they eventually translated it into English. And it is "We Were Invincible: Testimony of an Ex-Commando." And I will get you the link so you can go check this out. Tiny URL. I love those tiny URLs. They're so cute. Yeah, don't tell me what I want to do. I'm doing what I want to do. Tiny URL says, "Do you really want to go back?" Yeah, I want to go back.
By the way, we have our first bridge from Monkey Juice.
Oh, good, because we got a new one. So here you go. This is the link to go check out that book. It is the true story of what happened in this battle. Well, it was a series of battles. This is a good scene. This is your typical sandbox debriefing, or briefing, not debriefing, briefing before going into a mission. The original incident took place down in Colombia, and they had to get the people to Venezuela, Martin. And when they got them to the gate, to the border, the fighting was so intense that even the Venezuelan army started defending them, which is not what they show in this film. In fact, the guards don't do shit. They're not letting them through the gate. That's not exactly what happened. But Antoine Fuqua, along with executive producers, made a decision that this needed to be about Nigeria, and they wanted to show you couldn't make this film today because it's about Muslim extremists in Africa killing Christians, Christian missionaries, and African Christians, people of their own tribes, killing them because they went to the wrong faith. And I saw some of the footage of this stuff from a veteran buddy of mine. It was a Merc serving over there. And some of that footage was horrifying, and it led to one of my biggest fears is being attacked by somebody with a machete. Because I'm like, oh my God, watching people get murdered with machetes is one of the most horrifying things I've ever seen. And I've seen, video and combat stuff, and in real life, I'm telling you, that was horrifying to me. Shoot me.
Joe has this comment for you.
It really does remind me of the Wild Geese, and we're gonna do Wild Geese on this show, Joe. You better show up for that. Not Wild Geese 2, just the first one, the good one. Even though Scott Glenn is in the second one, and I love Scott Glenn. He's actually a veteran too. But that film was made by a bunch of veterans too. A lot of the actors in that were all vets. And I love that. I love that when, back in the day when you get a lot of veterans serving as in the crews and in the cast. Nowadays, you hardly see anybody that served. These people love to run their mouths and never really did anything with their lives. We need to get that service being mandatory so there's a little less of that running your mouth without having something to back it up with. But I always tell people, when people want to start talking to me about life and how to live it, and they never did anything with their lives, well, giving you that philosophy, it's like, I love it when a teenager starts spouting off about philosophy. And I've always described that as a virgin trying to tell me how great sex is. It's like, yeah, you don't know anything about sex, so you can shut up now. What if Bruce Willis is, and by the way, I got that analogy from Interview with a Vampire, because that's one of Louis, when he's narrating, says listening to him talk about something is like listening to a virgin talk about sex.
We have a
$4
super
super
sticker.
sticker. Yeah, see, Darius Munchausen, always being there for us, buddy. Love you, man. I know what it is. It's a pear with coffee, and I'm actually drinking. I'm out of Fuel Up right now, so I'm drinking my a double coffee. Now, I will point out that before they go on this mission, they had just finished a mission, and that happens a lot with special forces teams, and so they're already beat up and injured. They have cuts and shit from the previous mission, and they're going out already cut up. I love that. I love that. Now, oh wait, I was about to say something about Bruce. What is it? What if Bruce is faking it so he can be crazy old Mick? Now, I will tell you, there is an allegation, because a lot of people don't know that he sued the production company and the pyrotechnic expert on the film, because he said he got hit on the head by an explosive debris. And the stunt coordinator, or the pyrotechnic coordinator, called him an outright liar, said that he was hit by an expended shell from one of the weapons, and that won't hurt you, and called bullshit on it. But they did settle for an unknown amount. We don't know if any money ever was exchanged. It was settled out of court, and it went hush hush. But family and friends are saying that his aphasia was from that incident. And of course, the pyrotechnic guy is saying that's bullshit. He wasn't hitting the head that hard. It's bullshit. So, but that's actually going on. Page 6 and a few other magazines have been publishing this by the family, these statements by the family. Out of the mouth of babes comes surprising wisdom us old folks forgot. I don't know, man. I have kids, and I've been around all their friends that were kids, and they were idiots. They were freaking idiots.
Kids talk a lot of nonsense.
Even the smartest ones. My daughter's sharp as a blade, man. She would say things to me, and I would just look at her. Oh, baby, no, that's no. I appreciate you trying to be proactive, but no, that's bullshit. I do know that occasionally, like a monkey putting the right block in the right hole, they'll occasionally hit on stuff. And I got my kid reading stuff very early and talking to her about things. And she, like I said, she was a sharp kid, but she was so off the mark so often. And I'm like, give yourself a few years and you'll understand more of what you're talking about. But I think it's wonderful when kids are trying to learn philosophy and trying to have experiences. And my daughter's like that. I mean, my daughter was so brave. She left home at 17 and was out managing a Jimmy John's at 17 in Phoenix, Arizona. She had her shit together. I always was disappointed that she was too scared to serve. She's scared of a lot of things. And I think that's a problem with a lot of young people. They're scared to do things, and they shouldn't be scared. I don't know if I'm to blame for that, because early on, she was the bravest little thing. She was super brave. And it horrified me how brave she was, that Mac and we spent the weekend with Mac. The last few, I got to hang out with Mac a little bit.
I finally got to meet him.
You got to hang out with him and talk privately with him.
Yeah, he just took Gerry's phone and wandered off.
Yeah, I just wandered off with my phone. And I'm like, that's my girlfriend. What's he doing? He does that shit, motherfucker. Anyway, he, he was always impressed with Zoe too. And of course, my best friends are her uncles. She refers to them as her uncles, my best friends. And they really were there. And Mac in particular and Ultra Rob were there all the time, and they helped be there with my daughter. And all of us just kind of beat interesting things into her as far as philosophy and how to think. Because that's it. Philosophy is built off of thinking correctly about things. And we try to teach her how to think correctly. And she learned a lot from us. I think she does pretty damn well. She's crazy. And I mean,
of course she is.
It's like I sit there and I go, yep, that's my kid. That is my kid. I made that. I made that. But here they are in the village, and this really happened this way. The priests and nuns refused to leave because some of the infirmed.
Right, they stayed
refused.
behind to take care of those who couldn't walk, because it was a 7.5 mile walk to the extraction point, and they just stayed behind.
And
to
I
take care.
think that the switch from the Congo, or from Colombia to Congo, is very, very good
Nigeria.
exchange, because the jungles in both are they're rough. I went through Honduras, man. Holy crap, that place was murder. When we got sent down to protect that road crew that was constructing a highway in Honduras. This young nun, she's not even sure she has faith. And she stays only because she feels guilt for the others. And she just can't leave them. And by the way, what's her name? Bonalucci. She is the
Belucci.
oldest. When she was in, was it Die Another Day with Pierce Brosnan?
I think so, yeah.
She was the oldest
Bond girl.
Bond girl. She was in her 40s when she played a Bond girl.
I know.
It was pretty fascinating. Who was it that which one was she in? I got to go double check now. And there are a lot of names in this movie that you don't recognize because they're young. But Monica Bellucci, Cole Hauser
is in this.
Cole Hauser is his young buddy in this.
Yeah.
Let's see. Antoine Fuqua actually does appear in the film. Eamon Walker is in this movie, man. Holy crap. Nick Chinlin. He was the villain officer, commanding officer for the SEAL team in Terminal List. Tom Skerritt's in this damn movie, man. And Peter Mensah is one of the villains in this film. He's one of the commanding officers of the Congolese rebels.
Yakubu is his name, I think.
And I'm trying to see if there are any other people I recognize, and I don't recognize the names of much of this cast. But they have a great supporting cast. These guys all do well with their weapons handling, trained really well, including Bruce. Johnny Messner is in it too. I think he plays the RTO in this. Oh wait, no, he's the sniper.
Hey! Joe says that the Bond movie is Spectre.
Spectre, that was it. Spectre. I stand corrected. Thank you, Joe. That was the movie. And when she was in that film, she was in her 40s and the oldest Bond girl to ever appear on screen.
Once again,
and she's still gorgeous. God, she's still gorgeous. Oh my God, she's in her 50s and she's just
she looks great.
And Fiona, the older nun in this, is my godfather's ex-girlfriend from before he took his oath as a priest. They dated in Dublin, Ireland, back in the early, late 50s, early 60s. And she went on to become kind of a movie star. She's been in a lot of good movies. A lot of people don't know who the hell she is. But, and just like in the true story, basically, Bruce Willis's character is the real guy, Denis Morissette. Denis Morissette. Or I don't think they even pronounce the T's, do they? Morissette, right? In French?
Anima?
I don't know.
Hello? Oh, you don't know?
I would need to see how it's spelled.
It's Morisett. There's no E. No, it's two S's, one T.
No idea. Names.
And
names are difficult. Why would I freak out, Chivas?
And he got a co-author named Claude Colombier to co-write the
Colombier.
book. And it's I've already ordered it. I got a Kindle version of it, and I'm going to audio play it because I have that program that reads things to me so I can do my work. And I'm looking forward to hearing the true story. But there's a lot of facts in this film that they really kept in it. The one thing they did when he made the decision to make the film, and this is an interesting story because I want to go all the way to the beginning of how this movie even came about getting made. So while they were working on something else in Nevada, one of the members of this team, the real team, the JTF2, he was their marksman, which is the sniper guy. They were in Nevada in-flight hostage training. He met the crew while they were making Executive Decision with Kurt Russell and Steven Seagal's little bit scene. And while they were making it, he told this story and it freaked everybody out that this happened. Like, really? And you turned back?
Hey, our good friend Mike is here. Mike Lorber.
Hi, Mike.
Here it is.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, what's up, buddy? So anyway, he told this whole story to that crew, and that's how Hollywood got this story. And then they went and they bought the book because they were told the book was coming out for more details, and basically just took it and wrote it. And it was written pretty straight across the board. And then it was decided that if we're going to produce that for American film company, we need to make it about an American team. So they switched it to Navy SEALs, and that's how that happened. And then during the process of the multiple writings of the screenplay, it was eventually decided executive decisions were made. And they decided to go ahead and Hollywood up some of the drama of the combat. And in reality, 2 of the soldiers were wounded in action. And they're serious wounds, but they survived and were able to hobble to their means of egress to get the hell out of there.
Hollywood decided to kill half the team in this movie.
In the movie. And they do go back to get them. But it's one thing that when you're on an operation, you don't leave a man behind, especially Army. That's our motto, leave no one behind. And which was so ironic with the movie Black Hawk Down.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
Because that movie ends with them leaving a guy behind in the helicopter going, we have not forgotten you. It's like the name of the film is Black Hawk Down, Leave No Man Behind. And then what do they do at the end of the movie? They leave a man behind.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. I mean, it gets mentioned like on screen writing that
But
they
in
went
reality,
back for him eventually.
They did go back to stay with him, and they all died fighting for him, defending him. Every single Delta operator was murdered, and then their bodies stripped of their clothing and dragged through the streets. Terrible. On video camera. A lot of people in that film don't realize there was a lot of video cameras there from media, and they captured a lot of that shit. I didn't watch James Bond Jr. I didn't care to watch that, buddy.
Can we talk about how annoying Dr. Kendricks is?
Well, her character is your typical uninitiated person. She, look, she's tough because she's out there in the jungle.
Yeah, but she does not understand that he has orders.
Yeah, and absolutely in real life. And I bet you when I read the book, it's going to be in there. You jerk a knot in somebody's ass really quickly when they're like that. She would be slowing them down and causing them problems. And you immediately tell them every single time you run your mouth, you risk not only your own life, but everyone around you, including those of us that are trying to get you out of here.
But that's exactly what's happening here.
You need to shut the fuck up.
They are way behind schedule because they have to stop all the time because she insists they take breaks.
Yep. And it really does. It really puts their lives at risk. And, but they have gotten a commander, and this is what leads to everything, is a commander who cares? He actually gives a shit about what he's doing. He's not just, by the numbers. This guy really gives a shit about what they do. And a lot of operators are like this.
Well, he starts feeling bad when they fly over the mission where they left the priest and the nuns and the other patients behind, and they see everyone murdered and the mission.
Yeah, we haven't gotten there yet in the film, as I recall. But that's eventually what happens. And it happened in real life. Here he is, that dude right there. That dude.
That's General Yakubo.
He is a really good actor.
Yeah.
We have seen him. Let me get his resume real quick.
The first movie in which I saw him was 300. He's the guy that he gets in the
chest. He goes,
"Yes,
this is madness." That is him, man.
This is when things get bad for the first time.
He was in the Scorpion King Book of Souls. He was in the Devil Conspiracy. These are recent ones. He was
in the Incredible Hulk.
Spartacus. He was one of the trainers in Spartacus. Remember that shit? Good actor.
He was in the Hulk. He was in the Hulk. He's the one that gives green light to General Ross to go. And
he was in that series,
Banner.
Midnight Texas. It should have gotten more. I actually thought it was a pretty good show. They put more effort into it, and it got canceled instead.
That guy has a commanding presence.
Now he's in a movie I've never seen, Snake Eyes. I'll never watch that movie. He was also in Jason X. I remember him in that one. That was a good one. That was sci-fi meets Jason.
Jason in space.
Yeah, he was in Hidalgo. Good grief. He's been around. He's been in Avatar. God, he's been in so many movies. He was in the show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. He was in Cypher back in 2002. It's actually a good movie. Star Trek Enterprise. Oh, man. Oh, what a weird horror film. But I remember this one. And I do remember him in that Bruiser. If you've never seen that film,
no.
It's British produced. That is a weird movie. My goodness. God, he's been in a lot of stuff. He was in, what is this? Oh! He was in Terminator, the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
This scene, by the way, is intense because that's when she realizes she'd been tricked.
She's been lied to. He lied to her, outright lied to her to get her there.
He never had the plan to
evacuate. He has to leave
them.
these people
Just her.
Behind. She's like, why isn't the other helicopter landing? He's like, that's a gunship. They're here to make sure we can get on the helicopter safely. And as she gets 50 feet, she realizes what he's done, and he physically forces her onto that helicopter. Technically, kidnapping is what this is. And
following his orders, get her out.
He's doing what he was told to do. He doesn't like it, but that's it. And these guys, I want to point out again in the scene, because they are not happy with some of his decision making, but the reason why is they're already freaking exhausted from having been on an operation before going on this one. And they're ready to be done.
And it should have been an easy mission. Go get her.
I read that in Anima's voice.
This is the truth. And the word is used in the film, and it's from the book. They have a tendency too often. And it's the same thing that I told you why I left being a paramedic, because when you start to feel like you're looking at a person as just a thing to do, you lose sight of the humanity of what you're doing. And he says, and this is Cole Hauser's character. It says this. He says, I can't see these people as a package anymore.
Yep,
and that's a great moment in the film. So they're in that flight, and he's already just feeling it. He has completed his mission for the most part by getting her on that helicopter. But then they fly over that village, and she's already spit on him, slapped him and spit on him.
And he doesn't do anything. I'm like, I would have knocked her unconscious if I was him.
No, these guys are trained. Don't let your rage, especially if you're a commander, you can't lose your cool in front of your men. You don't do that. It's a quick way to break down order in the military is for a commander to lose his cool. And there's the village, blood in the water. And I guarantee
Murdered
you,
people everywhere.
the men were the only ones that were probably shot. All the women were hacked to pieces with machetes.
Yeah, you see them go at them. You don't actually see them hacking them apart with machetes, but you see the machetes, and it's obvious what they are going to do.
It's just inhuman.
Yeah,
What's done down there.
they are monsters.
Am I roboting?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
You were.
That's weird. It must have been while I was sharing it or looking at that screen.
Yep.
And
But,
she's losing it.
Who is all here? We've got. Let's start at the beginning again. Lord Thoth. Yeah, she's condemning him to hell for what he's done. Lord Thoth, Penny, Boosh McFadden, Joe, of course, Joe Zeitz, and Joe's Atmosphere, two military veteran buddies of mine. John Ostein's a good friend. Let's see, Real Wade Nation, Andy Morrow, all good friends. Darius Munchausen, LGG Free the Net, Comic Relief Crusader, our good friend Michael, and Robot and Gerry.
You told us to put it in private chat.
I know. I
Really?
just messed
So-
with it. Robot and Gerry, it's a new person that watches the show. I'm going to create a sub account and just show up in the chat. Robot, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it now. Open my other account and create a new
Yeah,
one.
we need Robot Gerry and AI Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And here they are back.
yeah,
The
he
refugees.
turns it around and they're like, "What are you doing, man? What are you doing? Mission,
Yeah.
operation."
But
And he
instead,
is
he
doing
gets as
something-
many people as he can on the helicopter.
Now it does occur where they do countermand orders and do other things. And what they do is they decide to take her out on foot and put as many people, specifically females and children, that will fit on the helicopter. And I'm not going to call that a slick. It's not a slick. It's got guns on the side. It's got defenses, but it's not a gunship. The other vehicle that's still hovering in the air is a gunship, and they couldn't put anybody on there because of the ammo that's on that thing. And you can only put so many weight for what ends up happening. If you tax the helicopter too much, you won't make it back. That's the real problem. The
Yeah, I think
helicopter will still be able
17
to take
people.
off.
They can
Yeah.
fit 17 people on.
They have to know their math with their fuel.
Yeah.
And so this is the weight that we can take on and be able to make it back.
And it's so hard
It's
because
not
you
a question.
see
Well,
a mom being separated
a
from
lot
her
of
kid.
people think that it's about the weight not allowing the helicopter to fly. It's not. It's a fuel issue. And so the pilots tell them, this is how many, and don't overload us or we won't make it back. They'll have to down in the ocean and be rescued. And no guarantee of survival on that. Adrian Collins is here. What's up, man? So now they've taken, and of course, his commanding officer the captain is so pissed. Get her on that helicopter and back. No, sir, we're bringing her in on foot. We'll be fine. And he's having kittens, man. He is having kittens. And that is something I only heard in the military. I never heard of that in civilian life. It wasn't until I was in the military and one of the sergeants joked and says, "Yeah, Captain's pissed at us having kittens."
I liked it when AK tells him, "Put yourself in my shoes," and he's like, "I've been in your shoes, dude." He's
I heard
so
that.
Oh
all the
yeah, I
time
like
growing
that
up.
too. The captain says that. Yeah. Because Bruce Willis's character says to him, he says, "Man, put yourself in my shoes." I've been in your shoes, dude. He's a former operator. I do like this film. And I do like the fact that they picked a good jungle that really is similar to what you would find in Colombia.
You can see the humidity.
Yeah, you can
That
feel
has
it.
been terrible.
No,
Oh
it's
my God.
not.
And I'm not sure where they shot this. Let me go find out. Shooting locations.
Well, let me find out. You start roboting again.
Yeah.
Actually, I have the Wikipedia open.
I'm scared, man.
They shot in Hawaii.
Yeah, and you're roboting again.
I shouldn't be. It's not showing the drop in internet. That's weird.
Well,
but it was in Hawaii. And I do like that one by one. I thought it was very believable and realistic the way none of the guys called him out in front of others. They would speak privately with him. Like, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? And Cole Hauser says it the best. He says, I'm with you no matter what, man. But what is your thinking process in making this decision? He says, I need to know. And they do that in private. You don't do that in front of other people.
As you should, yeah.
In the military, you were taught quickly. Chain of command. Don't interrupt chain of command. You do that shit and you'll get smoked for it. That's why I hated the movie The Hurt Locker. Breaking chain of command constantly in that film. And it's like, no, those guys, that character would have been smoked right in front of everybody for doing that.
They had a former US Navy SEAL as technical advisor. So that's probably why.
On this film, yeah.
Same one that did Black Hawk Down, by the way.
Not surprised. So, and the combat in this is done very realistically. I love how they do a staggered formation moving forward. It's called a wedge formation, moving forward while firing.
That was neat, yeah.
And when we did our field training exercise with our senior NCOs, and they told us they were going to be the enemies, the aggressors, and they told us how we needed to move through the woods, the forest. They gave us the order, and I'm like, "You're the enemy, and you're going to tell us how we're going to do it." So I switched up. They wanted us to go through a wedge formation, and I broke it up, and I did a zigzag formation, and we killed them all. We nailed them, and they got pissed at me.
Of course they did.
Yeah, they yelled at me.
The shit you got away with.
And then that kid Hutchko, the idiot, he went over and was with his boot. He kicked a old rusted Pepsi can. This is like old that it could rust. He kicked it and then picked it up, and one of the sergeant yells out, "Dead! Everybody within 15 meters, dead!" And I took my helmet off and I hit him with it.
What?
Because I wanted to beat these sergeants, man. And I beat them at their own game. And Hutchko got us killed after we beat him and cost us the match. And I hit him. I hit him with my helmet really hard, knocked him on the ground.
Hey, Cavitino's in the house.
Hey, Jay, what's up, buddy? Heavenly Beauty, and was Magdalene in The Passion of the Christ. That's right. Hope you all enjoyed the hard-boiled eggs. I had what do you call it? Not deviled eggs. I had egg salad yesterday. I absolutely did. I love having eggs on Easter. I ate no candy yesterday. None. But I definitely did. So thanks, man. I appreciate it, Che. Another one of our good, close veteran friends in the group. Love you, man. Have you seen this film, Che? I'm assuming you have.
Well,
this is a film that's loved by veterans. I went to see this with Mac, the guy. I invited him to join us on Monday, but he doesn't remember going with me to see this. And I'm not sure why. He's like, "Are you sure it was me?" I'm like going, there was nobody else I would have gone to have seen this with.
Well, that was 20 years ago.
Well, what about Stuart? I said, no, Stuart, I did not see this with Stuart. I know the movies I saw with Stuart. And this was not one of them. There he is. That's Cole Hauser, man. Looks like a boy.
Yeah, he was a boy.
And here's where he says it to him. He says, "I'm with you. I'm with you all the way, man. But what were you thinking?" And Bruce's character is like, "I don't even know, man."
Oh my God! Look, another Jeebus idea.
Oh God!
You'd be able to tell as soon as they were As soon as you touch them.
I got to tell you, and this is going to sound messed up, but in a dick contest, you'd win.
Oh, absolutely.
Crazy.
Not even Gerry would have a chance against that.
I'm a dick. And no, Monkey Jeebus would beat me every time, man. He would dick beat me.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh.
We should just
Yeah.
go to the commercial break, I think.
Yeah, let's pause this movie.
We've reached the lowest point.
Take us out of here, Bill, before it gets too sick.
Do it, please.
Hi, guys. This is Gerry from Pop Culture Minefield here on KGRA, and we're leaving for our first break. I hope we survive.
Did you know 75% of Americans
Hey members, the new KGRA DB app is now available on iOS and Android devices. Gain on-demand access to any KGRA DB programming. Download any show directly to your mobile device to listen or watch on the go. Go to the App Store and search KGRA DB.
Oh, wow. We survived. Welcome back to the commercial break. Now for some more Pop Culture Minefield on KGRA. Baga! I really hate my voice on that. I'm going to have to re-record it. By the way,
You've been saying that for months.
There was a crackle in the when we're coming back part where my voice was too close to the microphone. It's a slight hint of a crackle. And I went in and took that into Adobe AI, and it really pretty much fixed it.
Hey,
so
look at this comment.
Oh yeah, I was going to respond to that. No, I will tell. Anima knows women. I've talked about women I've had things for that were on the screen. Monica Bellucci is. I've never had a thing for her, but I think she is really one of the most beautiful women to ever be captured on camera.
She is.
really
and
is.
why would I have issues with Gerry talking about
she
that?
would not have a problem with that because she knows I think she's beautiful. I love Anima. She's gorgeous to me.
Oh, I love you too.
And you sound too happy.
In a room.
Yeah, I know, Mike. I really do sound like I'm like just a moron. Hey, just way too happy. But yeah, I didn't tell you guys that there is the actual. I'm pretty sure that one. I tried to put all the ads into the different branding studios, so there should be one in there just for Military Monday, if there was a need for one. I can't remember because it's still morning coffee with me. So, excuse me, I'm not going to talk for a moment while I have my tasty beverage.
Did you play them the new backdoor video?
No, I haven't done it yet. Let's do that real quick.
Because we just had that scene where they split the team up.
I made it last night. Yeah. Let's see, where did I put that little sucker? He's very the most recent. Here it is. Was it Monkey?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
Who else?
One video. Monkey, one video. Here it is.
Suck. Close up that back door.
Close up that back door. I love it when she and I watch it. She's sometimes I'm just sort of like there somewhat. She's paying attention.
Oh yeah. I made him
That's 'cause
stop
she's
and
taking
get
notes.
No, I'm not.
Look,
I made him stop
all
and
I
get
know
the
is this whole
timestamp so
backdoor
he could
thing
do it.
has become such a thing that even Mexican Iron Man partakes in it now, and he
Yeah.
didn't like it at first. He got mad about the whole backdoor thing, and even he's like, "No, this is a thing. Yep, make shirts." So shit.
It definitely is a thing, and I like finding new backdoor clips when we're watching stuff.
This is an intense scene because they come on a village. Oh, that sounded gross. They can't come up to a village,
Crazy.
and the village is being assaulted. And so he leaves everybody in the jungle, and he and his team go into the village to clean it out
And
kill these Congolese.
they spot 7 people at first, but they know there's more.
And they just outright murder these guys for what they're doing because they're torturing and raping and murdering the villagers. And one of
It's really brutal.
the toughest moments is when they save this lady, but she's going to die because they cut her breasts off, and she was pregnant, and they cut the baby out of her, and they cut her breasts off.
She's dying. You see her die.
Yeah, she dies on camera, and this is too much for the team. And this is when all of them begin to transition into, I've seen enough of this shit. I want to kill these motherfuckers.
It's hard to not feel that way.
Yeah, and you, especially with one character, I want to find him. Where's the cast? Because I had them up. Yeah, here we go. Eamon Walker, who plays Ellis Z, he calls him. He's fucking angry, and when he kills one dude, it was almost too much for Anima to handle the way he kills him.
He's the radio guy, right?
He could have just he's the RTO.
Yeah,
and he fucking makes it personal. He gets up on this guy in this village and catches him red-handed. Look what you've done. Look what you've done. And then spins him around and slowly stabs him to death. And holds him while
I had a couple of
stabbing him.
moments with this movie. At one point, I told Gerry, if it wasn't for the show that we're doing, I wouldn't continue watching this.
It's a very difficult film for people that aren't initiated. And so I just tell her, hang in there. Just remember, this is a revenge film where they're getting revenge on these people. They're good guys. And I've often wondered, and I said something during the show last night while we were watching it, that I suspect that cut over his eye was the real cut that he got from getting hit. Because it doesn't act like makeup, and it doesn't look like makeup. Yeah, he's trying to give CPR to this kid. He's the medic. And it's like, yeah, you're not gonna save that guy. There's no hospitals in the area. Yeah, that kid's foobar. Here he goes. He is pissed. Look at him go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I understand that.
He is out for blood. And just so you know, this director, this is one of his early films, This guy made Training Day. He's directed all 3 of the Equalizer films. The 3rd one's coming out this year. Even though nobody saw it, Emancipation, because nobody wants to support Will Smith anymore. He did the remake of The Magnificent Seven. He did an amazing boxing film, Southpaw. If you haven't seen that movie, watch that film. I like the film. A lot of people didn't. Olympus Has Fallen. I like that movie.
I like the Fallen series. I
do too. I'm a big fan. I did like the film, but I had problems with it. It was Infinite with say hi to your mom with that guy. And I forget the actor's name, but I think he's a great actor. Chiwetel Ejiofor. I don't know how to pronounce that dude's name, but I love his movie. He was in Red Belt. I love that movie, dude. He did that King Arthur movie back in the 2000s. It was I kind of liked it because it showed them as warriors for the Roman legion and breaking from the Romans, because that would probably be pretty close to what was going on. He did that movie Brooklyn's Finest. He did that movie The Replacement Killers. Remember that flick?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, what a great film. I enjoyed that film.
He was in Serenity.
Yep.
No, I'm talking about as the director,
Oh.
Antoine Fuqua. And I don't know what his involvement is, but it does show Bullet Train. So I'm assuming he was probably a producer on that. But I like his filmmaking style, man. He's a good director. And Denzel likes working with him a lot. And I can hardly wait for the third installment of
Equalizer.
Equalizer, man. That is going to be a good film. Oh, I forgot one. He did that movie with Bait. It was called Bait. With what is his name? In Living Color, and he went on to play Ray Charles.
Oh,
Jamie something.
yeah, Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx, thank you. He did that movie, and it's a good film. It's a good film. I like that film. Yep, he was the villain and he gets paralyzed at the end, as I recall, doesn't he?
Temporarily.
Yeah, during the fight, he gets paralyzed.
Yeah, temporarily, because at the end of the
gets
movie,
him killed
he's okay.
in the end. The injury causes him to die.
No, he doesn't die. At the end,
he died at the end.
No.
God, it's been a long time. I've seen it one time.
No, he sees the incriminating video and realizes that he's been playing for the wrong thing all the time.
Here's the death scene. She's laying there dying. This is a rough scene, man.
And she's holding her hand.
And that's the girl right there, honey. See the black woman next to her?
Yeah.
That's the one at the end that thanks them for what they did.
Ah, okay.
Because you were like bugging me at the end. I'm all emotional.
I was
didn't want to talk.
confused.
When I get emotional, I shut up. I'll stop
I know.
talking. And it's like, she's like asking me questions. Why is it so hot? Why are they so sweaty? And I'm like, I'm just quiet.
Come on. Stop shitting on me.
Some of your questions, though, like cracked me up, though. Because you asked the question, and I'm like, if you wait a few seconds, you find out. And I even said that to you.
Yeah, you know that because you've seen the movie. I haven't. I ask a question when it comes up.
But that's what I'm teasing you about, is asking a question that if you just wait a few seconds, you find out. It's like, what is it, Eddie Murphy? Oh, is he going to die? Remember that one, John? Where he's doing a black girl talk. Now, don't you tell me what's going to happen. I want to see for myself. I want you just to be quiet because you're always telling me things for, oh, is he going to die? You can handle being teased a little bit, baby. You can't be all that.
I'm just asking myself why I'm with you sometimes, but I can handle it. Apparently.
That's a question we all ask, Anima. That's a question we all ask.
Even I ask, like, what is she with me for? And here's the hero of the film right there, the lizard.
Yeah.
It's a chameleon, not a lizard. My God.
I don't care.
It's still a lizard.
Ask me if I care, Martin.
Do you care, Gerry?
I don't give two shits.
Oh my God, my heart is broken.
And he's one of those guys. It's like, sort of like Jesse Ventura in Predator. I ain't got time to bleed. He's that silent leader that just like, is going to push through, and he's just not going to complain.
Yeah, you see blood dripping off his hand, and he's just ignoring it. And only at night, when they are resting, he lets her treat his arm.
And here's where you see that he's become initiated into what's going on. He is completely 100% in now.
Shenotsky's in the house.
Hey, what's up, Shanatsky? How you doing,
Hi,
buddy?
Shanatsky.
And she asked him personally, "Will you get me
Ow.
to my daughter?" Yes,
Yeah,
ma'am.
because her daughter went on the helicopter and you see the two of them separate and she's having a hard time letting her kid go, but it's the only way to guarantee her safety.
No children on the walk.
Yeah.
And it was distressing enough during that one scene when they're like feet away from some of the Congolese and they're telling, shut that baby up. And it reminded me of a scene from one of the versions of Les Mis where they're in the sewers and the mother does that. And when they cut back, the baby has died. She smothered it accidentally.
Ugh,
And it
that's
was a
dark.
tough scene in that movie. Well, you know,
that scene from MASH.
They did it in MASH too. That's right. Because Alan Alda's character, Hawkeye, is having psychological problems from that. And I think that's one of the things that leads to him being put in a madhouse for a while there at the end. Because that's where he is in the finale. He's in a madhouse. Yeah, I got to tell you, man, this is a great film. And like I said, he claimed he was injured. It caused psychological and physical injuries, is what his claim was. Look, I don't dig what that guy said, that he that was part of the lawsuit, the pyrotech guy. He took some cheap ass shots at him. Well, he dragged my career through the mud doing that, so I don't mind taking shots at him. I'm like, yeah, so what you're saying is you're just going to go ahead and be a shitty person by talking about how his career was on the outs. His career was not on the outs. He was doing fine. It wasn't until he started having problems that he started making bad movies.
But he was just trying to get as many movies done before he couldn't do anymore.
To leave money for his family. He wanted to make sure they were
exactly.
taken care of.
That's why he accepted every script that came his way.
Yep.
And worked a lot with stand-ins.
And there he is. That's the dude from Terminalist. It plays the commanding officer for the SEAL team.
Man, I fucking love him. And
he's a good actor. He is a good actor. He was when Joe and I were talking about doing this film with a smaller crew. We had a investor down in Texas that was interested in working with us, and he was the actor that was close friends with him that he said would be playing the priest in it. That he would love to play such a meaty character as the priest in my story. Because a lot of my horror films have priests in it because I grew up around priests and I think they were wonderful. I never had those bad experiences like you always hear and people make the jokes about. The priests that I dealt with were really heroic. And they were the ones that saved us from the nuns when the nuns would start knocking the shit out of us.
I'm surprised you don't have more nuns in your horror stories.
I do not like nuns. I've always joked. I said I had a phobia of either penguins or nuns. The penguin one doesn't make sense. The nuns one does. Because I see black and white clothing and I immediately go, ah.
They just figured out that somebody was transmitting.
And this really happened. They have
a rat.
They discovered that somebody or some buddies in the group were relaying their position because they were getting hit too strategically by this group that was following them. And they're like, how are they finding us? Somebody has to be relaying information. Yeah. So, and they do show it in the film what they did. He threatens everybody in the group. Step forward now. Because there's something going on here and there's somebody here that is a target. Why are they targeting us like this? Why are they so angry at us? Trying to hunt us down. And it's twofold because you find out not only is there somebody relaying information, but they have a high value target in the group.
And she knew about it all the time and kept this.
And that's what makes her a shitheel. because she is putting everybody in danger constantly with her stupidity. Her stupidity has put them in hot water several times in here that could have gotten everybody killed.
That character made me angry multiple times during the movie.
And he does. He gets on her this time. He's like, you keep secrets from me, you'll get people killed. He finally, jerks a knot in her ass about it.
Yeah, he was a good friend too. The one with the transmitter.
Envy on Antoine Fuqua a bit because he fathered 2 children with Layla Rashon. Yeah. Things that really gets me in this movie is all the high-speed toys SEALs get to use. Yeah, right. Marines are the redheaded stepchildren in the military. They really are. But they really do the most with the least. Army, Special Forces, and Navy SEALs really get all the cool toys. This guy's a calm customer, man. So you're just like thinking it must be him. But he's the one. He is the son of the ousted and murdered president.
Because they've given to the news that the whole family has been assassinated to keep him safe. But they somehow found out that he is still alive and with them. And that's why an army of 300 soldiers onto them. So shit is about to hit the fan. Because they're close.
And of course, the Navy captain, when he radios him to tell him, he's like, that guy is nothing. That country's been taken over by somebody else. His father is dead. It's over. He means nothing. He is a nobody in our book.
Yeah, well, not in the Nigerian book, because he's now the last
Nigerian
heir
book,
to that tribe.
And they want him dead. So these guys just are facing such a mountain of danger because of things that keep popping up, including the one dude, and they shoot him. The guy with the radio that's been transmitting their position, they shoot him.
Well, he starts running, so of course they shoot him.
And that happened just like that. It's in the book. He turned to run and they dropped him. Yeah, but in the book, they killed him. He's
AK
dead.
He dies in the movie too. AK makes her single out all the people that joined in the last couple of days because he suspects it's one of them, and that's when he tries to make a run. And yeah, he stays alive long enough to tell them they have my family, but the family's dead already.
Yeah, it's like to even assume that they weren't.
Yeah.
And they did that for narrative reasons, to not let him die immediately, but they knew that clearly he was part of their tribe. He wasn't a member of the Congolese. So they just assumed that they probably held his family hostage, but they didn't hold him hostage. They just murdered him, told him they were alive, and as a means to bait him. And there he is with his radio around his neck. And this is funny because this one soldier walks over to grab it and he's no. Guy yells at him, no. He gently sits it back down.
And
it might be booby trapped. But the fact is the booby traps are around them, not on the radio. And it just because Cole Hauser's character is there and he's just setting off the devices one by one. Cole Hauser's character is a really cool character in this movie. He's one of my favorites.
He usually is, even when he's the villain.
He's a good actor. Unlike his dad, who just looks like a psychotic.
Yeah, but Cole, he can change his look too.
Yeah, movie to movie, man.
Yeah.
Movie to movie. Because
I think I watched it's amazing.
I finished the first season of Yellowstone. It was going into the second season when I saw an interview. And I'm like, what? That's Cole Hauser? I was like, no way. And I went back and I rewatched season 1 going, holy shit, that's Cole Hauser.
I wish we'd watch that together.
He always plays such good looking guys that are like clean cut and shit. Yeah, we're not reacting to your backdoors anymore.
You got your video, Jeebus.
You got one.
Well, he gets one per show.
One for sure. That's right.
I got to get that video. Yeah, tell him, Peter. Yeah, you only get one. Or apparently you only get one.
There he is on the radio with his captain again.
Oh yeah, he's. I got to tell you, in many ways, he really is my favorite character in this film. All the great cast, all the shit that was done by every single one of these actors. Cole Hauser's character is, in my opinion, the coolest character in this freaking movie because he reminds me of so many of the guys I served with. The way he acts.
He's getting frustrated because he keeps getting denied air support because airspace is too hot.
They're telling him it's too hot.
But
That because
he
we never
knows-
see it. The helicopters apparently took fire when they were coming in, and he's like, "Nope, we can't send anybody else. You get nothing, nothing."
But he knows he needs to get these people to safety because when this man dies, when the rebels get to him, all hope is lost for democracy in Nigeria, and he can't let that happen.
And like I said, the one big difference, and I'll point it out at the end, the air support that does show up at the end really happened. It really happened. They
Yeah, but
called
there
them in.
also was an army, and they didn't have
And
that in them.
as I recall, I got to go back. I'll reference it in the book, and I'll update you guys later. But as I recall in the true story, that was American air support that went in for the Canadian forces from an American naval vessel.
Oh, there he is with his guys. Each of you speak freely. Tell me what you think about this. And they are all with him because they're not cargo anymore.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this. JSOC allows that connection between all of our NATO friends when it comes to special forces. And you'll find a lot of working together of SAS, especially SAS. Now, SAS doesn't just mean Britain. The Australian has it. New Zealand has their own version. And SAS works with American Special Forces all the time.
Yep.
And in fact, the SEAL technical advisor for this film worked with a lot with the SAS. And that's why, Sean, I forget his name. Oh, crud. He's one of the authors of Bravo. I think it was called Bravo 2, which was the story of the SAS operators that got caught behind enemy lines during the first Gulf War and had to fight some of them died. They got captured and had to fight their way out. Sean Ryan has a lot of close relationship with American and Canadian Special Forces, and he knows the real guys in this team. He was friends with some of the guys in this team. And this is it is her fault. He's being nice. Here.
Yeah, it totally is. But he needs to keep up morale.
That's just
That's
it.
why he's doing that.
I got to get you out of here, so I'm going to say what needs to be said. And that's why he's doing that. It is absolute, and he knows, and he knows it's her fault that a lot of this happened the way it did. But I will say this, if not for her, he wouldn't have turned that helicopter around.
Yeah.
So she played a great part in his decision-making for everything he did, the real Commander Morissette. And this final battle is as intense as the real thing. They talked about that battle.
It's brutal.
They were so heavily outnumbered.
Yep, they really are.
That finally they sent in air support.
Yeah, finally.
Because he tells him, if you don't send air support, we are going to die right here.
Because they have the refugees run and try to hold up the enemy army.
Because where they had to go was a clearing. And if they don't get some sort of air support, they're going to get killed trying to cross that clearing, going to the gate. And like I said, some of the combat was so intense that even the Venezuelan army that was there at the gate opened fire on I can't remember if it was guerrillas or who it was. I think it was guerrillas from Colombia, and they opened fire on the Colombia guerrillas and fought against them. They don't show that in this film, and it kind of annoyed me that they took that out.
Yeah, instead they show your favorite monkeys.
Man, he gets hit a lot. His character.
Yeah, well, he was distracted for a moment by that pig.
Yeah, he's like, God damn pig. Gets hit in the shoulder by a sniper. And they take the sniper out with it was reddish color. I thought I thought it was phosphorus, Willie Peter. Because that'll take anything out near it. It'll just fucking kill it and burn it. And that's what they're doing. It's some sort of high explosive burning grenade. And it's designed to hit everything within 20 feet and just burn it.
Yeah, they're just desperately trying to block them from reaching the refugees so that they can get to safety. All the time waiting for the goddamn air support.
First time I saw him, I always think Cole as a convincing skinhead in Higher Learning. Kind of like how I can't not think of American History X when I see Ed Norton. I got to tell you, man, he's an intense actor. His dad is too, but he's intense in a better way. His dad just looks insane in everything he's in. Outman, outguns.
Outmanned 300-8.
Yep.
That is how outnumbered they were. And
but
every
the
time
training
you
with
see
these guys, they can do shit like that because they're fighting against superior numbers, but not superior training.
Yeah, but every time you see the enemy general's face, how he's enjoying what's going on, you just want to smack him.
Oh man, she gets the shit knocked out of her in this one. She got hit by shrapnel. He pulls some of the shrapnel out of her. Burns his hand.
They all get effed up pretty good.
Yeah, it's like nobody gets out of this not wounded.
Nobody.
Everybody gets wounded. This scene. Oh, man.
Oh, he dies the most horrible death of all of them. He has his guts hang out.
Yeah, he starts walking towards him with his guts hanging out, and he collapses. And, and shit like this does happen in combat, and I guess that's why they threw it in. That it's, even though it didn't happen on this mission, it happens on missions. The guys get hit like that and eviscerated. And he's letting them know, yeah, mission completed, buddy. You did it. You did it. And he croaks out.
Scenes like that are just so hard.
Man, oh man, this movie.
I'll never watch this one again. Never.
I like it a lot, but I own a copy of it, so I'll watch it again sometime, but it'll be a few years. I have to be in the right frame of mind to watch films like this.
Yeah, but the one
I like that line. I said it watching the film. I riffed the film, and he says, "Now, cowboy the fuck up," and I go, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker."
The copy you own, though, has this weird thing going on with the audio.
Well, I've already fixed it. It's fixed.
Good.
So I have a better copy now. Conserve your ammo. Oh, shut up, Darius. Guts hanging out sounds like my hernia. Rim shot. No, I actually do. I know a few Navy SEAL guys.
Yeah, I pointed it out, Shay, and he did Black Hawk Down as well.
Oh, Harry Humphreys. No, I do not. I thought you asked if I knew Navy SEALs. Yes, I wish I knew him. I'm gonna fucking find him, dude. I have my resources.
Man, Gerry, I tried so hard, and you just drop an F-bomb.
Oh, we've already been doing it during the show. I've already dropped 3 this show. possibly
Even
4.
Bill dropped one.
But I know a lot of Navy SEALs, and they're good dudes. They're all good dudes. Every single one of them I know. Lone survivor, yes, it's a similar situation. Yeah, getting way too banged up to survive. If they were close to rescue,
There he
possibly
is.
could survive. But without immediate medical attention, they got no chance. And that's the problem. You got guys out here while he's trying to do CPR on that guy. Even if you get his heart beating, that kid's dead. That kid's dead. There's nothing near you to save that guy.
Well, the fucked up thing is they have a doctor and they have a medic, but they don't have the means to do anything.
Yeah, you know you're in the shit when you're down to your pistol.
Oh, God, yeah.
But here comes air support.
Oh, air support doesn't show up until they're all wounded. But this is when you see them go into wedge formation that I talked about, where they're moving forward, doing the stagger walk, moving forward, sidewalk. The sidewalk is what you're trying to do. And it's a weird way to have to walk because your body's sideways, but you tilt your upper body slightly forward because of your body armor. You're trained to walk that way. And it's not just special forces. Everybody in the military is taught to walk that way. It begins when you start doing CQB, mount training. Yeah, but this is, man, the intensity of this freaking fight here. He gets hit.
brutal.
Oh, my God. Everybody gets hit. It's like Oprah Winfrey, you know. You get a hit. You get a hit. It's like nobody's walking away from this without getting hit.
She looks like she's dead a couple of times, but she always
you
wakes
just
up.
think she's dead, but then something happens and she just like wakes up, goes like that. So he's carrying her.
I reached a point during this fight where I was like, is everybody getting killed?
I don't know what that
It's
is. That is
so
not
intense.
a saw. I don't know what he's carrying there. It almost looks like the Chinese machine gun.
That was a
The
cool
Cole
moment
Hauser character.
when he went like, fuck you, and fired.
I think that was one of my favorite moments in Aliens with Hudson, where he's getting pulled down by the aliens and he's like, yeah, well, fuck you and fuck you too. As they're pulling him down, he's shooting into him. He's going to die. Cole Hauser. God damn, this guy's good. I remember in the theater going, please don't kill Cole Hauser. Please don't kill Cole Hauser.
He doesn't die. He's
No,
one of the
stop
four who
it.
survive.
Stop it.
Spoilers.
Right.
You're telling who lives and dies.
We already mentioned a couple of times that they killed
Yeah, I
half the team
know.
in this
I know.
movie, and
Just
that it's not
teasing
how
you.
it went down. Yes, stop
I'm
it.
just telling you that in the theater, I was like, please don't kill him. He's my favorite character.
He really is my favorite too.
I like watching characters that remind me, not of myself, but of other guys I served with that were like that. And a lot of these guys are still my friends. Fisher was one of those guys. Kyle Fisher. Dave Johnson. Yeah, get the knife off me because it's down there right where he got hit, so he's got to get that off so he can wrap his leg. And here comes the Tomcats.
Sorry.
Hey, it's Tom Cruise. I'm going to come in. I'm going to drop bombs inverted. How the fuck? You can't do that. I'm Tom Cruise. I can do anything.
Oh, they're
Let it
not
roll
Tomcats.
off.
They're,
Let it
They're
roll
Hornets.
off a wing.
yeah.
They're Hornets.
Are they Hornets? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is where he gets hit, man. He gets nailed hard. I know phrasing.
Phrasing, yeah. You do that on purpose, Gerry.
No, I'm just aware of it when I do it. And this is the clearing I'm talking about. And it was very similar. It was a road that they were
Here's
on.
your answer.
MK43 mod, is Cole Hauser's weapon on IMFDB right now on my
Internet Movie Firearms Database.
Hey, wait a minute. Does that exist?
Yeah.
How come I've never known this? I work in the industry. Holy crap.
Learn something
How do
new
you
every day.
think I was able to look up all those weapons all those times?
Oh,
I just bookmarked it. It is now a favorite site I'm going to be going to. And this is a scene where it's like, we just all got to lay here and hunker down, guys. We got, come on, guys, just lay with me, cuddle. And they're, of course, right at the gate, and they're not letting them through the gate. This is not what happened. Now, even though they didn't allow them through the gate, the soldiers at the gate were firing at the enemy, suppressing.
And they didn't do
suppressing
anything
fire.
here.
And they don't show that. And I thought that was a mistake. They should have showed them firing back.
Absolutely.
And in
We have
reality,
another breach by Darius.
I'm going to pause the movie and give you your breach. Here you go. Same video.
Suck. Close up that back door.
Close up that back door. Launching his missile behind enemy lines. Rim shot. There you go. Technically, behind enemy lines would be a good way of breaching, too. I will put that in there as a film. And now you will enjoy the shit out of that movie, baby.
Will I?
Owen Wilson? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That is a fun movie. Gene Hackman in his last military role. Good movie.
Okay. I'm in.
About an American aviator, Navy aviator, that gets shot down behind enemy lines, and they got to
yes,
find him,
I
rescue him.
really like that movie.
It's fun.
Really.
Owen Wilson. I became a fan of Owen Wilson because of that. And I hadn't been a fan yet. I'd seen him in other films. I'd watched Bottle Rocket. I love that film, but I wasn't a fan of his. I was more of a fan of his brother, Luke Wilson.
The scenes we just saw were so satisfying when they get the shit bombed out of them.
They're all laying there wounded, and they finally begin to walk back after the bombs go off and pretty much kill all the Congolese.
Which Wilson brother did you say you liked the best?
Luke Wilson.
Oh, not.
There are three of them. Wow. That's Owen. Luke is the normal brother.
Yeah.
The older brother, the bigger brother, always plays bullies in their movies. He always plays a jerk. And nobody really knows about him. He's like the fourth Marx brother. Everybody's touching him as he's going through. She has this big dramatic moment of thanking him, but she really wants to thank Z because Z's the one who gave her his word. And of course, the other character, if you didn't catch it, he's killed with one of the girls. He's trying to protect her, and he ends up dying on her body. He covers her body as the Congolese are running by. And there's no way he survived the bombs, even if she and he were still alive. Take care. I had problems with her character because her teeth are too perfect. I can't picture that. There's Scarrett's character. Open those goddamn gates. Shows him the orders. JSOC orders. Open the damn gates. And I do believe, they don't show it, but I do believe that 4 of those men are not Navy. I think they're Marines. Because a lot of people don't know this. Up till now, there were Marines on ships. And now I think one of my buddies here that's in our group told me that they stopped doing it. And I'm like, really? That's weird. Now Marines are no longer on ships.
You know how you can tell how many Marines were on a ship? Count up the number of doors and multiply it by 3.
Yeah, for all the guarding the doors.
Yeah.
Yep. For me, it is a moral question. Should Bruce go back? That's absolutely what was going on in his head. It was it was absolutely had to do with ethics and morals that he turned around. It wasn't compassion. It was about doing the right thing. Absolutely.
Even though the odds were against them.
Yep. And it's one thing you'll
Also-
find out with a lot of these top tier operators in particular. Odds doesn't matter sometimes. They'll just go in knowing they're going to die. You see that in Black Hawk Down.
They were given rules of engagement, though, and they went against it.
You see those
They were told
Delta
to not get
operators.
involved.
Delta operators were told, you understand what you're asking us here. What you're saying, that you understand you're not coming back. They're like, yeah.
Well, the special forces, I mean, that's the job description.
Now, if somebody thought I was shitting on the Green Berets one day, and I was like, no, I'm not. I'm just telling you what the Green Berets were. They were a different kind of special forces. Yes, they're trained to do this shit, but the Green Berets were also created to create a relationship with locals. You don't go into a region unless you speak that language. When you're a Green Beret, you have to know that language. And the only, Green Berets that go in there are the ones that are trained in that language. And that happened in Vietnam. And they would embed with some of the locals. And part of their job was diplomacy. And they are the diplomats of the U.S. military, the Green Berets. This is really good because they see him and they start chanting his family's name and all that. And then the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing.
Nothing.
Edmund Burke. True. Great freaking movie, man. And I end it right there. So, what did you guys think, man?
That's a good movie.
Go on, Martin.
I only saw that one once and didn't like it. And at the point that I I was with two more friends, and we stopped paying attention to the movie. However, seeing that apparently we really stopped paying attention. There's some shit that you're discussed today that I don't remember, so I will give it another try.
Yeah, you got to watch it by yourself and allow yourself to not be distracted by anything. This film
Especially the beer.
There's a lot of intense moments in this film, and the combat in this is straightforward. Some of the best combat you'll see shot in a film, and I do love the way Antoine Fuqua shoots his action movies. He pays attention. He has really good advisors, especially for his Denzel Washington movies, man. Great action scenes. Anima makes a great point. Good people and heroes do what's right because it's right, not because they expect to win or live. Very, very true.
Thanks, John.
In many given situations, I think one of my driving forces in some of the stupid, crazy shit that I've done in my life was I would rather die than walk away from this and be ashamed of myself. I don't think I could live with the shame. And there's a mindset that happens with people. And it's not just men, it's not just warriors. A lot of people have this mindset, especially in emergency services, law enforcement, fire rescue. I got shot at more as a paramedic up in Washington.
You don't go into these professions without.
I got in the middle of a
firefight.
firefight in the middle of a hospital ER. And I duck walked out of that place. I grabbed my partner and said, "We gotta go." And he followed me. We duck walked the shit out of that ER, Harborview Hospital. Not only because, it's a great film, John. It is a great film. I think it's a forgotten film. I don't think people remember this movie. I get pissed sometimes the way some people shit on Bruce Willis over this film because of the lawsuit. And it's like, man, he got hurt. I don't know how. Do you know how bad he got hurt? No, I don't think even the pyrotechnic guy knows how bad he got hurt in that film. He's just covering his ass, and he's disrespecting, the star of the film. Yeah, that guy went on to have his career, and he's got a right to fight for his career, the special effects guy. But shitting on people, that's fucking rude.
That was low, yeah.
It is low. And if it is, because that's what the family is saying, is that incident is what caused the injury that caused his aphasia, his problem. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if it's bullshit. I don't know. Only they know. They were there. But I love the flick. I love Bruce Willis, and he does a fantastic job in this film. Every character did. Cole Hauser is the best character in this damn movie.
But all the actors are great. All of them.
But the only reason you watch it is because of Monica. That's funny. I will give you some little tidbits on here. Let's see. Based again on the book We Were Invincible. I am looking forward to reading this or having it read to me by a robot. Let's see. I am going to try to get a hold of Harry Humphreys. I would really like to get a hold of that guy. I am going to probably give you guys an update after I read the book. I'll bring it up again. It would be really good. Anything else I should talk about with this film? Any of the characters? Anything important? I can't really see anything.
I could tell you something about not the real events, but events in the real life, not related to this, but well, in a certain way, yes. It amazes me that in the real events, the Venezuelan army fired back because they had that forbidden. You see, the Colombian guerrilla, they were incursioning constantly into our territory. We could only shoot at them if they're in the territory. The frontier line was a river. Well, it's a river. And at the moment the guerrillas hit the river, we have to stop fighting. Of course, the guerrilla can
that was
shoot
the rules
from
of engagement for them, is that they had to be on one side of the river.
Yeah, and everybody in the country was, why in the hell do they not allow our guys to shoot back or even pursue?
Yeah. Now I will point something else out, that in one of the scenes, right before they're murdered, the young nun who has low faith, she's not sure how strong her faith is, begins doing her Hail Marys. I'm not even sure, she might have been doing the full novena, but she was doing the Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you, blessed art thou amongst women, blessed fruit of the womb, Jesus, Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death, because she knows she's about to die. And as weird a scene as that is, I guarantee you it's what would have happened. They would have been praying all the way up to their death. And I thought that was really nice, because most films today, Hollywood hates Christianity. And I'm an agnostic atheist, and I see it. And it's ugly the way they act towards Christianity. So this film, I absolutely believe, would not be made today. Because at the center of this isn't just what was done by the Congolese towards other members of their tribe, but why. They did it over those in the Congo that had become Christians. And they were murdered. Not just people that followed the previous benevolent president, but because of religion. It was over religion. And that is in the film. It's said in the film, if you're Christian, you're dead. If we find you, you're dead.
John, I don't know. No. John
and this goes against Islam.
Don't know what
because Islam absolutely in its basic tenets, and Cameron and I have talked about this, Pasha, that they consider Christians in particular their brothers or sisters. Christians are treated that way by true Muslims. It's only these factions that don't learn how to properly be a Muslim that take this shit and twist it. You've never... Wait a minute. What? Never heard Martin talk about Nicaragua like this? Has he met Nolly North? He's talking about Venezuela, you dick. He knows. We know you're joking, too. We know you're joking. It's just like when I say he's from Venezuela, Ohio. There's no such place. But there is a Cuba, Missouri.
Yep. There's a Mexico, Missouri, too.
That's right. That's where Deanna was born, Mexico, Missouri. But I'm trying to remember. There was one actor I don't see here in the list that was on the team, and I'm going to go to IMDb real quick because I am just not seeing this guy's face. Gosh. I'm going to go. I just don't see him here. And it seems like I saw him in a recent movie with Bruce Willis, one of the newer films that's not been released yet. I saw posters for, and I could have sworn I saw him. Is it Chad Smith? No, it's not Chad Smith. I'm just not seeing him. Damn it. I'll find out. But there's a new movie with Bruce Willis that's being released soon that looks like it's got one of the guys from this movie in it. But I don't know. I'll let you know on Wednesday. I'll be talking to Don today about what we're doing this Wednesday. Going to figure that stuff out. I want to invite some of my friends on again. I'm trying to get some of my vet buddies on, man. Schedules suck. I want to get more of my veteran buddies on the shows. You know, it's like, but good grief, trying to get people on. It's like pulling teeth. I'm like, can't shut these fuckers up when we're in chat. Try to get them on a show to talk, and I'm not able to do that because I gotta go. I've got a barbecue, going fishing. I gotta go wax my anus hairs. You know,
stop it. Guys. Just stop it, please.
But just realize the team all have different looks with headgear and hairstyles. Think Modern Warfare franchise. Absolutely. Because one of the other cool characters in it is, what's his name? Johnny Messner. He plays Kelly Lake. He's the one who gets killed with the girl protecting her. Absolutely has Soap's hair, man. He has Soap's haircut, man. I caught that when I saw, because, you know, the second time I watched that film, I was like, shit, man, that's Soap.
And now you're breaking my heart.
It is in the trivia. Soap, the video game character from Call of Duty Modern Warfare, was modeled after Lake from this movie.
Really? I'm not surprised because he has the exact same. It's referred to as a Special Forces Mohawk. And who started using that in the military? Does anybody remember? Remember? Yeah, remember?
No.
Was the Wolfhounds?
It was 101st Airborne, man. Huh. Screaming Eagles. Those guys were Mohawks. They wore Mohawks going into combat with the Nazis. They're scary as fuck. You know, Nazis seeing those Mohawks coming at them. Yeah. What's wrong with them? Why does he look so scary?
The Wolfhounds in Vietnam wore them too.
Yep. A lot of the toughest guys that in combat would put those Mohawks on, man. You put that in your face paint on, and you're scary as shit.
And they all wore bandana around their head with a trinket from home hanging right here, so they could always see it.
Read it.
Read it, please.
Gerry, do you wax, tweeze, or squat over a candle to remove that backdoor hair? Breach for you, monkey. You son of a bitch.
I don't think we have time for another
Here's your
video,
potential
do we?
LZs. Marines at the embassy advise we can gain entrance through the back way.
There you go. We are
That's the answer.
So I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm going through puberty. Lord Thoth, Penny, Boosh McFadden, Joe is here. Joe Seitz, John Ostains, Joe's Atmosphere, Real Wade Nation, Andy Morrow, Darius Munchausen, LDG Free the Net, Comic Relief Crusader, Roboting Gerry, Adrian Kalitz, Cavaltino Cavalryman Che, and Shinatsky. Thanks, guys. We'll see you on Wednesday. Don't forget Thursday for Brian's next show. Gonna be good. Gonna be good. See you guys in.
Bye.
Those sons of bitches.
Ma, I'm doing a show.